Good evening, one and all, and welcome to another edition of the Full-Time Sports Network's KopTalk. We seem to have one missing, lads. And he's put it on back to front. He tried to do a swift one and messed it up. Bro, you can't believe it. Hey, Dr. Blake, you never believe it, now. He was here early today, bro. That's the thing about it. And he's still not ready. He's still not ready. He was here early.
Oh, man.
Mate. Hey, friends. Good evening, Dr. Blake. And how are we doing, sir?
I'm well, man. Cold, but good. Good. But it's winter season, like it's not for us Caribbean people, I tell you. So, but yeah, man.
Friends,
all good.
How you doing, man?
I'm all right. Come on, guys. We all knew that winter was coming. We all knew it. All knew it. But listen, but to be fair, chaps, I've got 4 good reasons why to be nice and snuggly tonight.
I hear that. Brother Stoney, how are we doing, sir?
Yeah, I'm good. I think down in London it's not as cold as they were mentioning up in Liverpool. So I feel blessed. It's not, I think it was same for the game that it was -5 up there. Even though they had undersoil heating, anybody watching the game, I think would have had some chills. But I'm in a good space. Just looking forward to this evening's show.
Yeah, I feel it for them, man. Trust me. Good evening, VW. Nice to have you on board, sir. My daughter, my youngest, who started playing football this season, she's now got her team have got tickets to go and watch England tomorrow. So, boy, I pity her, man. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to be wrapping her up well warm, boy. Trust me.
Yeah, thermals.
And you know them evening games as well. The nighttime kickoffs. This, woo. Yeah. Not gonna be pretty, man. Not gonna be pretty. I tell you.
Yeah, you know what?
Hey, Preds, next time, pour that in a glass, right? We're not doing no advertising for them, bro.
Yeah, that's
no free advertising. Yeah, no free advertising. Yeah, until we put pen to paper.
I hear you, bro. I hear you.
Put it in a glass. You hear me? Yeah.
I hear you.
Okay, so first we'll kick off if there's talk of Liverpool looking at 19-year-old defensive midfielder João Neves from Benfica. They said that the club has his name on their list in capital letters. It's meant to be pretty serious. Anybody know anything about João Neves, Benfica?
Yeah, marginally. I think this is going to be quite interesting if it is something where, as you said, we are linked to him.
Got a TV on in the background. Sorry, Stoney.
Yeah,
it's probably Preds, isn't it?
Nah, not me, mate. Who's got the jungle on TV? Come on.
Do you know what? Boy, apologies. That's actually me in that. Hold on 1 second. Apologies.
Yeah, that sounded like the jungle to me, boy.
That is the best. That is definitely the best.
Don't worry, I got that on record, man. I'll watch that later.
What was I gonna say?
Nah, apologies, because obviously normally, there's no headphones in it, so I guess it's quiet down here. But now obviously the headphones, so yeah, there's a bit of background noise. But listen.
Right. Stoney, sorry, João Neves.
Yeah, sorry, I was gonna mention on this. I mean, it's still early doors. We haven't got the transfer window opening up yet, but Neves is the same age as Stefan.
Yeah,
plays in the same position as Stefan.
Mm-hmm.
He does have more first team games for Benfica than Stefan, and I think he's also featured for the national team as well. So that will be interesting. Yeah, he's played 3 games for the national team at the moment. So I'm not saying that we don't need to improve the depth of our squad. I think that's something that Liverpool are always looking to do. But we're going to be bringing in a player that's got a lot of the same attributes as a player that we already have at the club. So that would be my only question mark around that acquisition. I know he's got a long-term contract at Benfica, but look, they sell, they buy at good prices and they sell. We've recently bought Darwin Núñez there. So I think if we were in a position of purchasing one of their teenagers, we'd probably have to pay a hefty price for him. But yeah, my only question mark would be him coming in to replace somebody that we already have in our squad. I don't know.
Okay. Interesting. And then also reigniting interest in a 45 million raid for Nice midfielder Kefram Turam again. That talk is back up again. And apparently they're saying that Liverpool seems to be the ones in the fast lane. There's a couple of other clubs included, but also interested. But Liverpool seems to be the ones leading the race.
For me, there's a question mark.
I would have liked to have seen in the summer.
And probably, as you said, I think it goes back to the question mark. I know you received a little.
That was one of the.
Go ahead, Preds. Go ahead, Preds.
Oh, sorry. Because I think there's a bit of, I don't know, admin, sort it out. Yeah, this is something I wanted to see in the summer. Can you hear me?
Yeah, for the third time. That's a hat trick now.
Oh, right. Sorry. I'll say it one more time then. This is something I would like to have seen in the summer. He's a good player. Have all the attributes to go on and be actually a world class player. And yeah, why not? I'm actually quite excited about if it is true. I know it's only rumours, but us football fans, we always get excited about transfers. So yeah, if it is, I would like to see him get it done.
And finally, there was talk of, we spoke about a few weeks back that the deal for Andre Trinidad was dead, but apparently it's meant to be nailed on. And it is just a matter of time. And it is meant to be a nailed on deal that we get him for 30 million. So that's another one. That's another defensive midfielder.
And you reckon we're probably all looking at those because obviously Endo's coming, and to tell the truth, he's done nothing wrong, in my opinion, when he's played. Do you reckon that we're probably in for those players because it's the same position that we probably need, but they're at a younger age? Probably with Thuram, we were obviously looking at him before he got injured in the under-21s for France. I wonder if we probably wanted to see how his progression was after his injury for Nice and whether we're still going to go back into him. I know his contract expires in 2025.
Yeah.
So we'll probably, I think if we are going to go in for him, we'll probably wait to see what he does for the full season. But that's probably the only area that we probably really do need a player for that position. The defensive player number 6. But as you said, we'll just watch his space really.
I think if we can go in and get one of them who's a bit more established than Endo, I think that we'll be in real good stead to get through the rest of the season, personally. Definitely.
Listen, I think we are. I think we're potentially one DM away from winning the league. I literally think like we could be that close to actually doing it. I'll be honest. I don't recognize Liverpool right now in terms of our transfer business. I don't know what is just speculation. I don't know what could have an element of truth to it. I think we're in a very interesting space because I just think from the moment we launched that record bid for Moises Caicedo, like I can't predict anything that the club are going to do right now. So yeah, I think we're in very interesting circumstances. So yeah, who knows? It seems we are intent on getting someone who can play football, even if that's in, when I say play football, I mean in terms of either can start our attacks, so that's either through their press resistance or their passing ability or their ability to take the ball on the half turn. So I think it's possible that we might take a more offensive midfielder, a box-to-box midfielder, and then try to recreate them as number 6. Who knows? Because even someone like Thuram, I guess if you look at him, his best attributes are actually his ball carrying and his driving from deep. So I don't know. Personally, I want a water carrier who's going to do the defensive and the ugly stuff, the kind of off the ball stuff, the stuff that you don't necessarily see on TV. Because I just think we've got a lot of ball players in our current midfield. Mac 10, Trent comes in there, Dom, Curtis, Ryan. Yeah, like I think we've got a lot of technical footballers. Harvey as well. So actually, somebody who's just a gnarly, dirty bastard who's just gonna just kick man and just close down spaces, I think is a complementary piece. So it'll be interesting to see what we do with that.
No, man, I fully agree with that. Because to be honest, gents, all right then, Mac 10 playing there right now is not working for me. Don't know how
he's wasted, isn't it?
Yeah.
Agreed. I think they're trying to. We're getting away with it at the moment of like trying to rotate it because Szoboszlai he's played there at certain times during games. You know, Mac 10's gone in, and I agree with you. It's not quite worked for him. I think it almost looks like he's a little bit frustrated.
Of course,
he wants to. Yeah, because he wants to go forward, but like he's at Liverpool Football Club, and at the moment he has played there internationally.
Yeah.
As well, and he's got experience there, so it's not like he can't play there. I'm like you. Something's not quite right.
Yeah,
maybe
right.
maybe it's.
I know what you're saying, Prince, right? But you know what? So he's played there. You know what? Yeah, I'm a footballer. I'm helping out my team, whatever, and I've played there. That's because of maybe suspensions, injuries, whatever. I've played there, but that's not my position. I'm at my everyday job, not my club, and I want to be doing what I want to do every. You understand? Week in, week out. That's not where I need to be playing.
Yeah, but football's evolved in regards to managers are looking for players who can not just play one position either as a number 10. Managers want players who can actually play, who are adaptable and can play in a multiple of positions. And that's what I think Liverpool. That's where I think Liverpool are driving at, because you know Szoboszlai can do that if he needed to. I think Gravenberch could be able to do that as a number 4. So, in modern day football, you have to be adaptable, and you have to be able to play in multiple positions.
Yeah, there's no denying that. There's no denying, but yes, right. So I have to be able to play in those multiple positions, but that's like I said, as cover because of injury or suspension. But ideally, you should be looking to play me in my most effective position. Now, surely all 4 of us on here are agreeing that that's not his most effective position. We all 4 can't be wrong.
Do you think that he's
yeah,
he's the way?
Yeah, go on. Sorry, mate. Go on.
No, go ahead, Preds. I'll wait. Go ahead.
No. Go. No, I was just going to say. All I was going to say is, I think on their point of things, I think they're quite thankful that they're in the first 11. Like, I know you want to play your ultimate position, and I know what you're saying. We're all in agreement, but I think from his point of view, he's actually he's blessed because he's starting, and those players are all starting. So I hear what you're saying, and
it's a good point. It's a good point.
They're actually quite blessed. They're blessed to be starting.
Do you not think then that when Klopp was signing him, do you think that that was a conversation that was had about having to play?
So I think for me, the clearest indicator of what our plans were for the season is the fact that we tried to break the British transfer record to sign a DM. Like, you don't try and do that if you're planning on playing Mac 10 as your number 6. Like, I think it's just like an obvious thing to do. Don't get me wrong, I think Mac 10 can do bits as a number 6, but then I think for that to happen, we need to play more of a possession-based, controlled game. In many ways, a bit more like City, because our issue is in transitions, and when the pitch becomes open and there's spaces, his lack of mobility then becomes like an issue. So the counter that Doku had when he tried to foul him and he couldn't, like you see then where he gets kind of exposed in that position when the game opens up. But if the game's all tight and compact, he's brilliant. But I just think ultimately, if the plan was to play him as a number 6, you don't try and buy Moises Caicedo for £112 billion. Like,
and also trying to get Lavia.
True.
Yeah. And I think this is where, and even Trent, if you think about the Trent thing, right? We've got Trent kind of inverting to play that kind of Pirlo role. if you're going to have Trent doing that from deep, you don't really necessarily want to have him next to a ball playing 6 as well. Like it's almost like partnering Pirlo with Xavi Hernandez. Like someone needs to want to just kick, man.
Yeah.
Like who wants to kick, man?
Yeah.
And I just think,
100%.
we're kind of making do and we're doing some excellent coaching, but yeah, who knows how Klopp's gonna evolve? And this is why I say yeah.
Big shouts goes out to Bingy B. Nice one for joining us, Mr. Bingy. Big shouts goes out to the silver one. Brilliant, mate. Thank you very much. And also big shouts goes out to Moss Sports World. It says, what's up, FTSN Klops? Man said, another easy win for you. Smashing up champion. League Group 8 for anyone. Man United 3-3 and 6-0 for the Arteta studs. Yeah. Mr. Thought of the Day, good evening to you as well, sir. Thank you very much. Do remember, peoples, hit that like, that share, and that subscribe as well. Okay, so we will crack off with, first and foremost, we have to rewind a bit and go back to that big game that was Liverpool and City last week. So, first and foremost, gentlemen, what would be your team's score, overall team score? Just scores. I don't want to know why yet. Just what was your team's score out of 10?
It's an 8 for me.
8, okay. Preds.
I'd say I'd go 8.5.
So I'm not talking about tonight. Yeah, I'm talking about last week. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, I'm just checking. Stoney.
Yeah, I know.
I think our mirror image, Dr. Blake can go for 8.
Okay. All right. So, first and foremost, Dr. Blake, you started us off. You tell me why you gave that team an 8, a solid 8. It wasn't even in dispute.
Yeah, to be fair, I would have even kind of thought about going higher. And I guess what I really liked about it was the fact that City away has become our hardest game of the season. We're playing the occasion one, and we're also playing against a very, very, very good team as well. Well, the best team in the world right now. So I think the context of the game, when you then factor in the fact that it happened after the international break, like we had key players who were playing South American football, so they were jet lagged. So I think when you factor in that as well, for me, it was a really good performance. But what I particularly liked about it was the fact that we've had games this season where individuals have played incredibly well, but the teams lacked a little bit. Whereas I thought the reason why I liked Saturday so much was, for me, it was the opposite of that. I think we had key individual players who were actually quite below par, like the front three, bar Nunes, and he's disappointed a little bit. I thought Mo was quite, I wouldn't say poor, but was disappointing. Jota disappointing. Curtis struggled. Dom wasn't his normal self. So I think we had a lot of key players who struggled. But why I give it so high is because when you need players just composure, grit, fight for the shirt, fight for one another, keep following the manager's instructions, don't let the actual pressure get you. It'd be easy for us to have just gone long on a few occasions, but we tried to continue playing from the back. Alisson struggling, but we're still playing from the back. Mo not holding up the ball. Mo not really getting much change from Ake, but we're still playing from the back. And then I think you see then that pays off with the goal that we scored and the fact that they nearly score and we play football. And I just think the fact that we just showed adversity and courage and bravery to keep on playing the ball and doing what the manager wanted, for me, that's why I rate it so high. It was one of the performances where, don't get me wrong, it wasn't silky. It wasn't our best on the ball performance, but I think in terms of just what we showed as a club, a team, for me, it was, I super enjoyed it.
Okay, Prince?
I gave 8.5, just going on the back of Dr. Blake, just a good, hard, solid team performance. And teams are not going to go to. We all know go to Etihad. It's a really hard game. And look, for us to come back and draw the game away from home shows really good character, and it shows that the team are starting to blend. The spirit's developing, You know, even like Matip in the first half, like driving through, breaking through lines, you know. And I hear about the big players not turning it on, but in all fairness, you have to then give Man City a bit of plaudits because they kept them quiet. You know, kept them quiet. And then what we don't want to rely on just one person. We want to rely on the team and someone within the team to come up and you know, come up and score. And Trent was that one. And we could have went on. We could have. Do you think we could have won it? I don't know. We don't settle for draws, do we? So, end of the day, it was a good team performance, gritty, and against Man City, who are starting to build momentum. That's a very, very good result.
Okay, Stoney.
Yeah. Just really mirror image what Dr. Blake and Preds has said as well about the performance. And over recent years, what we have not been able to get in terms of results at the Etihad. I thought what was quite interesting in this game was Pep not actually making any substitutions at all. I think if you look back at their subs bench, I think they had one offensive player on their bench, Oscar Bob, who I don't think has actually featured too much in their squad, and actually two goalkeepers. So they actually didn't actually make any substitutions in the whole of that game. We can probably look at it two ways. The first of which could be that Pep was actually happy with his squad and first team selection as well. And also knowing that if he did manage to make any subs, that there may have been a drop-off in their own performance. What was quite interesting for me in this game was the fact that Akanji actually played in midfield alongside Rodri. That was quite interesting. I know prior to Stones being injured, whereas we played, Trent is on the right-hand side and he plays inverted in midfield. What Man City had been doing is that Stones was in the centre-back and played in midfield. They actually did that with Akanji this game. And I think that's the first time Pep has actually done that. So that was actually quite interesting to see how he tweaked it. I thought Doku had a really good game against us. And I think early in the game, I think it was quite clear the doubling up of Doku and Silva over on Trent's side. So I think it was nice to see how the game actually evolved and how we actually, to an extent, managed that situation. I was quite impressed by that. And more so with the way that the crowd was obviously getting on Trent's back when he obviously equalized in his little moment of standing and doing the shush to the City fans. I'm actually quite happy he did that. From our side, I thought what was quite interesting on the previous show, when Dr. Blake and Vinny were actually asked to actually name their team, both of them actually mentioned that Jones would play. He wasn't on my list. So I'm glad it was good to obviously see the other perspective once again about how Dr. Blake and Vinny were able to articulate how Jones would play, and he did actually feature. But in terms of that end-to-end performance, we don't usually get a result at City. So I'm glad to come away with a draw. That was just me.
Okay, all right. So before we move on to my next question, me personally, I was gonna say 6.5 or 7. To be honest, I was quite disappointed. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I was quite disappointed.
And I know why you were as well, because I was also as well. But yeah, but go on, bro. Go on.
I was quite disappointed. I still feel, yes, Man City are a top team, but I still feel that they're not as good as they were last season. And I feel that when I look at Chelsea putting 4 past them as well, and I see now the defensive frailties which they didn't have before. They weren't like that last season. You weren't getting 4 past them that easy. For me, I think we gave them a bit too much respect, man. For me, I don't care if they had. I believe my team goes toe to toe with that team. I don't care what anybody says. We go toe to toe with that team, man. And I'm still saying, I personally feel that we were lucky to get out of there with a point. With the chances and that they were creating, I think that we were lucky to get out of there with a point.
Definitely. But you know what, Artie, I'm just going to counter something there, right? And I agree with you in terms of teams actually standing up to Man City and obviously going toe-to-toe and getting any results. My only thing with that is me seeing Liverpool on a completely different standing than what Chelsea is. And I think even going into this game, history can change, all right? And I was probably looking at where Arsenal were in terms of the top of the league, Villa and XYZ. Going into the game, I would have been happy with a draw. So maybe my mindset is probably a little different than everybody else on the panel. So for us coming out with a draw, it means that we're still an occasion and we're still up there. Chelsea went toe-to-toe and Chelsea are in 10th. So for me, I'm thinking Chelsea ain't even on our level. They spent about £2 trillion and they're still not even up there. So I agree with you, they went toe-to-toe, but they come out with 1 point and they're not even anywhere near us. So I don't know. I probably just looked at it a little bit different. If we won it, we would have been at the top.
We've got
if we drew, then we're still in there, and we're still in there. And that's more so based on who we've got next as well. So that's probably more why, for me, I was probably happy with giving our team, as you asked, the 8 out of 10.
And another reason why I say that, when I say that, like Chelsea go toe to toe with them, because they're what? Chelsea are not firing like us. They don't have the firepower like us. Teams fear our firepower. Yeah, teams fear our firepower. You know what I mean? Jackson can't hit a barn door, bro. You know what I mean? So come on, really and truly, teams fear our fire. We got goals right across our front three, realistically, and they know. And the thing is, we can make subs and bring on people who can still score.
Yeah,
and they know this.
Yeah, but it always comes down to another fact that, you know, if you're going to go and get a result from Man City, keeper has to be on top form, and Alisson was on top form. Like, I mean, he's made a couple of shanks, but listen, we know goalkeeping at the moment when football has evolved, they want goalkeepers to pass the ball, so we have to accept that sometimes they're going to do the odd loose pass. But other than that, his saves were unbelievable, which kept us in the game. So your keeper's got to be on point. So that was on. And I hear what you're saying, that would go toe to toe, but they play the box and they played it really, really well in the midfield. Really well.
They did.
And you know what I mean? And tactically, like, you know, they had a lot of the ball, which is to be expected. And but the game against Chelsea, their game against Chelsea is one of those freak games. It was, the conditions was nuts. It was just, they were away from home. Chelsea, you don't know what Chelsea's going to turn up. So for me, going to City and getting a draw is a great result, because when you're up there and you go to those teams, you have to come away with something.
The silver one says, I tell you what, chaps, our team's results against City this season, and as long as both Arsenal and Liverpool continue to do their thing, our game head-to-head on the 23rd of December is going to be fire.
And that's the point. And like what Preds was saying as well, I think the result fine for me, this is just me, yeah. I'm happy with the 1-1 because what we got Fulham and Sheffield Wednesday next. I'm confident that we're going to get 2 wins from that. So we're still going to be fine. And as you said, then we play Woolwich Wanderers on whatever. We play Arsenal on we played them on the 23rd of December.
That sounds like some game that's happening in the park with a couple old men walking their dog.
You know? And then we do what we have to do. They're originally from South London. So, you know, we'll do what we have to do. We'll get Arteta getting quite upset and making unsavory comments about VAR and what his team should have got.
As he does.
And then we just enjoy the festive period. So it's onwards and upwards, really.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think for me as well, like there's 2 fixtures which I think emotionally we find difficult. And that's at Man U and at Man City. Because there's been times where we've played Man U and they've been poor. But it's almost like it takes us to score the first goal and then we settle and then we play our football. And I just think with Man City, we play the occasion. And I just think individually, like we had a number of players who struggled, but it was things like the fact that Kostas, who struggled quite a lot recently, he was very good. Matip, who's been in and out, and there was like, you know, reasonable debate. Should he be playing? Should he be not? It was the fact that like it was the unsung heroes who turned up in our most difficult moment. And I think this is what I really liked about it, the fact that for me, it showed our team spirit. And I just think we know we've got quality. We know Diaz can fire. We know Darwin can cause chaos. We know Mo's world class, one of the best players in the world. Like, there's so many things that we know that we can improve on from a footballing perspective. But there were questions around our mentality. Did we still want it? Is there still that sense of leadership in the dressing room? Can we just overcome adversity? And I just think the questions, like the questions that we answered on Saturday, I think will go a very long way to, I guess, making sure that we have a very good season. So yeah, there was just things that I just don't think people would assume that we've got that we showed on Saturday. And I think that's why I particularly liked it. But yeah, Artie, I completely agree. I think to myself, go for these Brez, like Kanji, Walker, like these guys aren't that good. Like Ruben Diaz, like put man on their back, kill them. But I just think we didn't do that, which was disappointed. Yeah, we didn't. But I feel like at Anfield, it's a straight bruck up. Like, yeah.
But didn't we all goes out to Mr. R&B, Mr. Tabrice? He's logged in, logged on, and the silver one says, "Oi, fighting talk." Yeah, too right, mate. Too right. Bring it on. Bring it on. All right. So quickly, before I'm going to do a quick, before I do player watch, and then we have to move on to the other game because time is already running. I'm going to ask one more question on that, and I know that this is going to give us some more content again. I know you guys, man. I love it. Right. Do you think though that the reason why Liverpool are playing like that against Man City at the Etihad is because of the respect that Klopp has for Pep? The respect you. Can you imagine if it was a manager where he didn't like and how he would be hyping up his players like to get one over on him? But do you think, you know what, he's got that, because he knows he's a good manager. Do you think he's got that much respect for him that, you know what, so we have to be smart, lads. We have to be tactical. We have to be, rather than releasing the reins?
Yeah, I think he has got respect, but I think that respect is also mutual.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Like Pep. I think personally, out of all the teams, Pep fears us the most.
Mm-hmm. Easy.
I wouldn't say fear. I'd say worried.
Easy. Yeah.
Yeah. Arsenal's doing their thing. All right, fair enough. Tottenham, they're doing the thing. I know, and Newcastle. But there is one team that he really.
Hold on. Did you say Tottenham?
Yeah.
Which shame?
You got jokes, man.
Hey, Shane, is the Wi-Fi in the cave? You should be like, you should get him back on.
The Paxton Road crew. You got the man said spuds, you know. Wow.
Oh,
I don't think they wanted 3 games, bro.
I'm glad you get my sense of humour.
Oh, unless their thing is losing, then yeah, you're right.
Yeah, they're losing. But no, I think Klopp's right to respect them because they're a good team. But I don't think he goes out there. He's gone in there and said, "Right, we need to get one over them." It's kind of like, look, we need to stand up and be brave and go out and play our game. And some players responded, some players maybe didn't. But collectively, as a team, you know, we got something out of the game, which is most important. I hear what you're saying about going forward and going after them, but for me, City's one of those teams that can, if you've exposed yourself, they're one of the teams that can go and hurt you. And and tactically, I think this management got it spot on. Like, we've gone out, we've scored a goal, we've been tight towards the end, even though they nearly scored towards the end, that corner. But again, right to have respect. But and the other thing, I don't think Klopp's like that. I hope he's not like that anyway.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna go player watch. You've got a player each. I'm gonna start with Dr. Blake, and for the City game, player watch for you, Darwin Núñez.
Darwin.
He's your boy.
So I think he was not easily. I think he was the most lively one out of the front 3. Did disappoint in the sense that I don't think he really caused their centre-backs as much problems as what he should have. Wasn't clinical, had a couple of half chances. Obviously like the header from the Mo cross, and then
When
there
Szoboszlai
was
put him through.
Yeah. Now, with the Szoboszlai one, why I won't be overly critical of Darwin for that is because I just think last week we kind of spoke about how the coaching team have really worked on slowing him down, making him a bit more less reactive, less instinctive, thinking about what he's doing. And I just think with that chance, once he doesn't take it on his left foot to open it up, I then think he's then almost going through the process of not trying to rush what he needs to do, and in not rushing it, he then takes too much time and he gets tackled. So I guess like I won't fault him for trying to implement what the coaching staff are trying to make him do. Disappointing overall performance to me because he didn't kind of leave his imprint on the game, but I think at the same time it was a encouraging performance. I just think I'll probably give him 6.5 out of 10.
Okay. All right. Stoney. Phil Jones. Curtis Jones, sorry.
Phil Jones. And I was just gonna ask you, Mr. Host, what's in your cup, sir?
Yes.
Is it a hot drink or a cold drink?
I'm trying to hydrate. Water.
Water.
Well, I think going back to what I was saying before, on last week's show when we were discussing who we thought Liverpool's lineup was going to be, Curtis Jones wasn't even on my radar. I think it was good that he had the opportunity to actually play starting against Man City for a series of reasons. One in which it was that Klopp clearly has seen or believes in his development. Big game, we all know, starting against him. So him starting in the midfield with Mac 10 and Dominic was quite important. I didn't think he was able to impose himself on the game. But on reflection, as he said, I managed to watch the game afterwards. So from Man City's side of it, Doku had a really good game on the other side. So I think for me, it was the first time that I was able to actually see how well Dominic is actually able to play defensively. And I was quite impressed the way that he was actually able to support Trent on that side. And on the other side of it, I thought it was quite impressive to see how Curtis Jones was able to support Tsimikas defensively up against Foden. So I think for me, I will probably give Curtis Jones a 7. Still developing. Yeah, definitely. For me, I'd give him a 7 because I was able to see him defensively, and I've never seen him play that side of his game before. So I would have given him a 7. And I think in terms of the way that Klopp and the coaching staff was probably asked for him to play, I think he was able to execute that at a high percentage. So I was impressed with him. I would have given him a 7.
Okay. Prince, Allison.
World class. Showed it in the big games. He shanked a couple, but hey, listen, he made amends for the first one. The second one, which led to the goal, incidentally. I'm not actually too critical of Ali because he's tried to set us off. What I am going to be critical of is when who got the ball? What's his name? Ake. When Ake got the ball, did you see how easy it was to shrug off? Who was it? Szoboszlai and
he didn't shrug off nobody. Just danced between them.
Dance between them. That's what I mean. Like he
Yeah.
literally just danced between them, and then was able to then feed it into Haaland, who then put it in the one place that Ali won't get the ball. So I'm not actually critical of Ali. I'm critical of the players who didn't do enough to stop him getting in the box. But then after that, he's made save after save, which you'd expect a world-class keeper to do. So I would give him a 9, and I'm really, really touching wood that he's only out for about a week or so.
Pause. All right.
Because a week or two, so I give him a 9 for me.
All right. Then one more quick thing then before we move on from this game. Was there a foul on Allison with a Kanji?
Yes.
Yeah. For me, it was a clear foul.
Stoney?
Clear.
Football's changed. I didn't think there was anything wrong with it personally.
Okay.
Oh, mate, he was all over his back, mate.
Okay. Let's not exaggerate, Chris. Let's not exaggerate.
Football's changed.
Yeah.
I've said it. I've said it on previous shows. All right. If we were in Waitrose shopping and somebody bumped into us, we would not fall down like that. We wouldn't. For some unknown reason.
No, see, this is where
it's true. For some unknown reason, when we put on football boots and a kit, right? Ali must be over 6 foot. For some unknown reason, when players put on a football kit and boots, the slightest touch, they fall down. I don't
Okay,
think
let me put it
more personally, what it was for me, what I would say was a foul was when he's got his hands up to catch the ball, Akanji has held on to his left arm, and that stopped him from being able to catch the ball. That's impeded him from catching the ball. That's
a contact sport. It's a contact sport.
That's not, but you can't hold a guy's arm down if he's trying to catch the ball.
But he did. Players need to.
No, come on. You can't hold a guy's arm down and expect that not to be a foul.
Can someone give Stoney that wooden spoon so we can keep stirring?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. I just think if his head had hit Ali or his shoulder had hit Ali, if a part of his body that is involved with the game had actually hit Ali, fair enough. But his arm has no bearing on the game.
Thank you very much.
As an alpha player, yeah, like his arm has got no bearing on the game. Like if it touches his arm, then it's handball. So I just think if he's done that, then
yeah. So
but I do see Trent's point. It was a little bit. It wasn't strong contact, but at the same time, I just think it was just a foul.
Well, listen. In that situation, would you rather your goalkeeper be nice and strong, or feel the touch, go for the ball? It's going to be a foul. He's been clever.
Yeah, it was a foul to me. It was a foul.
Bingy says, "I think the occasion got to some of our players as they're new. It's new to them, basically." He's saying.
I think so.
Silver one says,
I'm going to disagree with that.
Has a new name, Ang L.
What players? Just can you just bring back up Bingy's comment, please, RT? Right. I'm unsure about that, and the reason why I say that is in terms of our players that would have been fielded against Man City, right? The only two players that it probably would have been new to, Mac 10's used to playing in the Premier League with Brighton, right? So he's used to, right? But even so, then we're only looking at one player, and that would have been Dominic. So even if that was new to Dominic is a international, a captain at that international. So I know he would have come from a different league, but he would have played up against international players as well. So if we're saying some of the players that have been new to, you're looking at one player, and Dominic ain't a grassroots player. He's an elite player. So I would probably question that. Bingy, I'm being provocative on purpose, by the way, right? I don't think it would have been new to any of our players. We would have been aware what Man City would have tried to have come with, and Dominic would have been ready to that. So I disagree with that comment, Bingy, and I've done it on purpose, sir.
Come back again, Bingy. Come back again, Bingy. Come on, Bingy.
All right.
We want a response, Bingy.
We move on, gentlemen. We move on. Got a point, and we move on, gentlemen. So we move on to tonight's game, Europa League. Seal that qualification now, gentlemen. Make sure that we get that top spot. First and foremost, I think there was a lot of poor finishing, man, today. Or not even poor finishing. Sorry, bad decision making in the last third of the pitch. Because I expect us to get like with what I saw, we should have easily got 6+ tonight, easily. So
I agree with that.
In all fairness, man. I'm going to let you guys do this and analyze the game because I didn't see it tonight.
Yeah, so. We know. You're watching it now. We know, man. Don't worry. We know, man. We know. Standard procedure. We know, man. We know what happens on the field.
But yeah, I make you right because I think if that's a Premier League game, certain players make different decisions. 100.
I think 100. We were complacent.
100%, yeah. And I think I did kind of think about this a few weeks back in a sense of this is the first season in what 5 years that we haven't played Champions League football. So almost like this tournament at this stage, it's almost like the League Cup where we're rotating the team. Everyone knows it's a rotated team. And unfortunately, we're used to playing elite competition in the Champions League during midweek. And I just think it's almost human nature for me that the players would potentially drop their levels a little bit because they know simply they are just overwhelmingly a lot better than these teams. And time Allison's not playing games, he's being rotated. We're making eight or nine changes. Whereas typically in the Champions League, we might make 2 or 3 changes, but essentially it's the same team playing over and over again normally. I just think there's a message from the management that, look, this tournament isn't at this stage, isn't as serious. And I just think like we're seeing that with the players. I don't think it's conscious. I just think they naturally know that they're going to get through. But I would like to think that when the last 16 starts, we see a different mindset and we see a lot more like of a serious just a serious approach to the games.
Okay, Stoney.
You know, I'm out to provoke people all today.
Go for it, man. Go for it.
I think so. We didn't qualify for the Champions League. We qualified for what would be deemed as the second best European tournament, right? We played 5 games, we won 4, and we've lost 1. Those are just the statistical side of stuff. Scored 16 goals, conceded 5. We're at the top of the group, and we've progressed. We've had an opportunity to field some players coming back from injury. We've had an opportunity to field some of our academy players as well. We're through. I'm not nitpicking. I think that is just me. That is just me as an individual person. We're through. There's other teams that are in this tournament that have been wagging their tongue to get through and haven't been as successful as we are, but we're there. I'm in a very, very, very happy place at the moment. Very happy place. It could have gone south, but it hasn't. So I'm not going to nitpick. Not one bit.
Okay. All right. I think the reason why I say that and why I pick up on those things for me is it's all about attitude and building mentalities, man. And that's what you want. You know what I mean? You want to have that going forward. It's not like a switch now. Like all right. So like Dr. Bates said, when we get to the next round now, that last 16, you know what I mean? You hope you're taking it a bit. It's not like a switch where you can just switch it on, man. You need to have that mentality, and you go out there every week. Yo, you go out there. I don't care who your position is. If they're that poor, cane them.
I know, but what more could we, and this is me once again being quite provocative, all right? So Ali has come off the game against Man City with possibly a hamstring injury and maybe out for a period of time. Gallagher's played in goal and he's kept a clean sheet. I have questioned Gomez on lots of times on this show, and I think lots of people would have seen that.
Yo. Leave Gomez alone, bro. Leave him alone now. No.
So that's what I'm saying.
Player watch.
Cool. So Gomez has played today, and he's kept a clean sheet. Konate's come back from injury, hasn't put a foot wrong. I like Jarrell. I will wax lyrical about Jarrell every single game. All right. We've questioned Tsimikas. I think he played okay today. I believe that Elliott deserved to have played a full game today, and I think he probably got a full game today, not just for his performances for Liverpool, but also his performances for the under-21s. I think he deserved the run out. I think it was good that Gravenberch managed to feature today. Endo managed to have a full game. I actually really like Gakpo, so I'm glad he actually managed to play as the central point today, and obviously come off with 2 goals today as well. We've probably managed to see 2 of our younger players in Connor Bradley get some game time, give or take probably about 10 minutes, and the same thing with our left back, Luke Chambers. So I'm trying to look at things reflectively as an overview. Everything today was a positive. I can't see any negative points from today. I probably need to watch the game again. But I'm left today feeling very positive.
I think in regards to some of the comments made, and I'm going to disagree with what Dr. Blake said about the seriousness of the. I don't think players go into these games not up for it. Like, these are professional footballers, and this is like the second. Okay, it's the Europa League, but I think this is actually a blessing for us because okay, we're not playing Champions League, and we all want to be Champions League, but we're still playing European football, and we're still giving younger players and fringe players the opportunity to keep match fit because we're in the League Cup, we're in this cup, we're in the Premiership, we're FA Cup, so players are getting games. You know, when we come past Christmas, that's when you're going to start seeing the teams, kind of the first team anyway. They're going to be a little bit more predictable in regards to the lineup. At the moment, he's keeping everyone satisfied. At the moment, he's keeping everyone kind of happy. Players are coming in, coming out. It's like today, Trent started on the bench and then finished the game off. You know, he done that with Salah a couple of weeks ago. So I think this is actually a blessing. And then furthermore, we ain't got no divine right to go and win this cup, by the way. We've got to go out and play, you know, and it's already been shown that whatever team we're playing against, if the team on their day turn up, it isn't possible we can lose a game. So I'd agree with Stoney and say, like, tonight was all positives. All positives. We've kept a clean sheet, 4 goals. Players have come back to get a bit more fitness. You know, players are, you know, who haven't played in a couple of weeks have been involved. So, all positives.
All positives because they're a mess. That's why you can say that, bro.
Who's a mess? But Archie, we're still in the conversation, though.
You got to beat the team in front of you. Yeah, but you got to beat.
If them boys there could finish their dinner, bro, we would have been in trouble.
Archie, what more could we have wanted, though?
You're talking about Kelleher making saves. Why is Kelleher having to make them saves against LASK, bro?
Archie, we kept a clean sheet.
Yeah, but teams are gonna.
Because they're mess.
Yeah, but teams are gonna attack us. Teams are gonna. That's a game of. That's what football is.
Of course.
They attack, we attack.
No,
they defend, we defend.
Gave them chances, bro. We opened like the Red Sea.
Like Moses still kept a clean sheet.
Man was running in. Just keep it to beat. What kind of nonsense is that?
It makes a good point. Don't get me wrong. Yes, we kept the clean sheet, but that was down to their poor finishing as opposed to our good play. And I think that's quite obvious. I just go back to the point that I just think, look, we're used to playing Champions League football. We're used to playing a settled team in the Premier League and the Champions League. Klopp may have changed 2 or 3 players. Now we're making 9 changes, 8 changes. So it's clear that at this point in time, this is a tournament that we're just going to rotate the squad and use to give minutes. So I think in that context, I see it as being quite positive. And I just think, look, when the business part of the tournament starts, then things should be different. And I think, look, you have to look at the financial superiority of the Premier League, the fact that we are a Champions League club. So, yeah, any team that we get in the group stages is going to just be inferior that we can just slap up. And even our previous game where we lost, we were terrible. And then we turn it on and then we basically scored 2 goals in the last, how many minutes? Obviously, the last one wasn't given. But so I just think, yeah, like we're not having to play at full pelt at all. And I just think like the players know that. Like we're probably playing in second gear.
But when you're rotating, obviously you're not going to get that rrhythm.
Exactly.
Like everyone understands the philosophy and the way that we want to play football. But we also have to be realistic in the fact that football players are human beings and they just can't switch off after playing no minutes or lack of minutes for a couple of weeks and then come into a game and we expect them to go, right, go on, you know, go and get a 10 out of 10 performance. It's not going to happen like that. And players have to get used. Players are being rotated, and it's not great. But ultimately, they're playing, so they have to justify them playing on that particular game. You're right. There has been some games that some players haven't done good enough in those sort of games where they need to. This is their opportunity to actually put a marker down and say, right, Gaffer, I'm getting my opportunity here. I need to show up well here to give me an opportunity to show up against the Premiership teams. So the onus is on the players to actually come in and do a job. they're professional players. They train every day. But I do also get that with the rotation, the rhythm's not going to be the best.
I completely agree with that, Brett. Completely agree with that. Absolutely, completely agree. And I just think, look, the fact is, we are progressing. Like, we've topped our group. We're giving squad players opportunity to bed into the club, the team, to learn our systems, whilst being able to rotate and keep some players fresh for the Premier League. So for me, yeah, like, it's a win-win, definitely. Because if you think about it, there was a stage prior to his injury where Van Dijk always had to play. If it was because it's just his importance, the injury record of our other centre-backs, Van Dijk could play Premier League, Champions League, FA Cup, and even a League Cup seasons ago, we having to start. And I was just like, bloody hell. Whereas now we can just, like, man's in the stands, resting. Kwanzaa, go and do your thing. I'll be back for the Premier League game. So I think this is what I'm liking about it. Like, we're able to rest and rotate players. Dom clearly looked for me a bit jaded against City. So then, like, today, Dom, rest. So yeah, I quite like it from the fact that it means that we can keep quite a strong team for the Premier League. So win-win for me.
Yeah, don't get it wrong. I'm happy that other players are getting game time. I'm happy, and I'm used to that now. Since this competition started, I've seen what Klopp's been doing. I'm used to it. I'm liking it. I want to see these guys get game time. I want to see these guys play, and I want to keep having a look and see if they're really about it. And you know what? I'm watching, and like Stoney said, for one player for me, definitely, I think he's going to have a massive future. It's Kwanzaa. Definitely, 100% for me. I'm liking the boy's start, his confidence on the ball, everything. I'm liking it. I'm saying, yeah, this boy is going to go far, man. Definitely. I would like.
Did he play right back today?
Nah, he played centre half.
He played centre half, didn't he? Yeah.
Centre half. Yeah. Centre half. Yeah. So yeah, man, and him and Konate played in the middle at the back.
Okay, no, I was just looking at the
Gomez right and Tsimikas left.
Okay, fair. Yeah. Sounds bad.
And I think with Kwanzaa,
right to hit the bar.
Yeah,
and I think with Kwanzaa as well, it's almost like he seems to perform irrespective of who he's playing with at the back. I seen him play Matic play well, Gomez play well. He just plays well.
But you got to remember though, he's doing this every day. He's playing with VVD and training and with Matip and Konate. They're all playing together. So at some point they all kind of know each other's game. But if you look at today's substitutions and you look at it, it's like, Salah played an hour, got his goal, come off. Trent come on, and he's given. I like it because then now Trent's got some, he's ready for Saturday. Salah, he's done his hour, he's ready for Saturday. The great thing, Diaz started his first game today. Was it his first game since the unfortunate situation, which is thankfully resolved itself in a positive way. That's his first start. So yeah, I like it.
And he scored. What a goal, by the way. Didn't other than the goal, really didn't really play that well. Didn't really do much, to be fair.
Artie's just been Hold on.
He's right.
Hold on a minute. Was he not the one who went clear through and decided to stop and
and pass it?
Light a fag, have a chill.
Man's in the Balotelli.
I'm telling you, bro. Like, I don't know. I didn't understand it. Like, what was the pause about, bro?
It's just put his foot for it, isn't it?
Yeah, and then I swear his dad come out and man's being released and all that, and obviously it's a terrible thing that's happened to the family. But then man's come out and man's talking about, I want to thank Porto and I want to thank Liverpool, and hopefully my son can play for Barcelona and fulfill his dream and all that. I'm like, hold on a minute, Ruben.
No.
Man's taking us for some kind of like stepping stone. Like, hell no. When I saw that, I was like, Diaz, you can take your dad, and if you see LFC like as a stepping stone, then step, rude boy, innit? I was like, big man. Do you know what? Be released from being kidnapped, like you're talking about. Thank you, Porto, and thank you, Liverpool, and Barcelona is going to be like his dream club. Nah.
And bring his family over.
Yeah, that does keep happening. I do agree with Dr. Blake what you said, and 100%. But you know what? I think it's one of those things. It shouldn't be said, and I agree with you, Dr. Blake. But you know, some South American players see. We'll just give an example: players within England being a stepping stone before they go to Europe and Barcelona. Hopefully, he will see that is not always a holy grail. And the only reason why I say that is Coutinho example, right? It doesn't always work that. But you know what? If Diaz and his father and his representatives seeing Liverpool as being a stepping stone to Barca, let us go and get the Coutinho money, and then we'll see where it moves on from there. So while you're at Liverpool, do your best. And if you believe we are stepping stone and you move on, then so be it. Because Barcelona at the moment as a club ain't nice. They're in debt.
Thank you.
Like they are on some backhander business. And I don't think it always works out. However,
I understand.
Let us get the Coutinho back and move on and do what you need to do.
I understand that from years back ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Obviously, Real Madrid and Barcelona. Yeah, everybody wants to go there. Why would you want to do that now?
Exactly.
Barcelona ain't making no Champions League finals again. You get me? What? That's not the place to go, bro.
Yeah. And you know what? The other side, like what Dr. Blake was saying, you can go Barca, but if man's coming back to kidnap your dad, he may not get released and come over back to Barcelona at Christmas. So he has to be careful in those things.
Like, and look, I can imagine maybe what he was trying to communicate, Diaz's perhaps isn't how it came across. But I just feel like, rude boy, I get it. You've just been kidnapped, very traumatic time back for the family and all that. But you can't be saying, yeah, I want to thank Porto, I want to thank Liverpool for what they've done for my son, but Barcelona's the end game kind of. Nah, bro. Nah.
Do you think? Okay, let's try and play devil's advocate. Do you think that he possibly might have been slightly misquoted?
No.
You know what these press are like. Okay.
I don't think one was misquoted.
I probably no. I believe that probably as a youth growing up, Diaz always wanted to go, and you know what? That was my club. That was my team. Probably looked at a Messi, you know what I mean? Loved the Messi, blah, blah, blah. Wanted to go Barcelona. So I don't think he's been misquoted at all.
No, fair enough. I've not seen it. I've not seen it, so I've not. It's the first time I'm hearing about it now.
No, I've got no issue with any player, especially the South American players of Spanish origin or even Portuguese origin, seeing Barcelona and Real Madrid is like the destination club. Like we know they've got a long history, like in South America. All the great Brazilians, all the great South Americans who played there. So I completely get that. I didn't begrudge Coots when he went to Barcelona either. But my point is, it was just the timing of it. And with Diaz, it's like, rude boy, I rate your talent very highly, but I am a bit concerned by your current level of performance. So when you are playing showerman football on the pitch, by all means talk about big moves. But right now, when, in my opinion, you're behind Jota, settle yourself, innit? Settle yourself and start to perform on the pitch, because I'm not seeing assists. I'm not seeing chances created. I'm not seeing you dribbling past your man. I'm just seeing you running into brick walls, losing the ball and throwing headers. And that's great. You're brilliant in the air, but that's not what you were signed for. So Diaz, get settled. Hopefully, you move past the injury that he had against was Arsenal, right? But I need to see you perform on the pitch now. That's what I'm looking at. Another
question though is, can we really hold the player responsible for something someone else, even though it's his old man? And I know what you're saying, but can we really hold Diaz responsible for a comment that his dad has made?
And it's hard because you're right. Sometimes things off the field can have an impact on us. And, you know, I think considering what's obviously happened with Diaz and his family, this is just my opinion, I think to an extent he has been able to actually be able to put in good performances. And I say this, we've got family members, we've got partners. Like, you have to think of it like this. None of us are footballers here, but on a Wednesday, if you have to put the bin out and you ain't put the bin out before you go work and you get that text from your missus, that's gonna have an impact on you when you're at work, right? You know, when you get that little, like, Craigs, Dr. Blake, Artie, you should have put the bin out. And all you're thinking, you ain't put the bin out, but it's gonna unsettle you before you get back home on a Wednesday evening. So it can have an impact sometimes. And you know it's the truth, right?
Yeah, bro, it's the truth. Sing it like you're at church, Grub. Telling you. How do we know? How do we know that?
Sunday night.
Yeah. How do we know that Diaz didn't go home and say, "Dad, come on, bro, fix up. What are you doing?"
My bins go out on a Sunday night, mate. So Breeze says that no player is bigger than the club, and you got him in stitches, mate. Look, the bin's on a Wednesday, you got him in stitches, mate. Trust me. Boy. Yeah,
hey, by the way, I'm going to copy that.
You can't hold him responsible for what his dad has said, but it also makes you think of what's been going on, what goes on in the background to him, and where is he really at, to be honest. It does make you think about these things.
So these are the quotes, I've just got up on my screen. It says, "It is true that Lewis is a loyal Barcelona fan, and it would be his dream to go there." So far, so that's fine. It's this one sentence now where I'm just like, bro, shut up, innit? Then he says, "So far, I would like to thank Porto and Liverpool for the way they welcomed him and received him." Bro, man's taken us for some kind of like side chick, innit? Nah. Like, nah.
Dr. Blake, I tell you, the only thing that I'm comforted with this. If any of the quotes are sincere, I think we have to look at it like this. I think Diaz he's 26, right? So even if he has another 2 years with us, I think I'm confident that his value would have increased. So if it is something where himself, his parents, and his agents do have a side eye on Barca, all I would be comforted with his performances increase, his value increases, and if he does move on, I'm confident that Liverpool will get a good fee for him and we'll have another player to replace him. That's the only thing that I'm comforted.
Yeah,
with.
we'll definitely get good fee for him, 100%.
Easy,
100%. Top dollar.
And to be fair, look, I don't want to sell Diaz, but I just want him to fix up on the pitch and start performing. And I want his dad to stop trying to handle us like we're some kind of side chick from Tinder or something like that. Because fam, like, you can't be saying that. Like, thank you.
Let me make a call back to my Colombian brethren and my Colombian connect.
Yeah. Like,
for real. Bingy says, if I'm a baller, she can't ever talk to me about bins. Bingy's paying corn to get somebody to take out the bins, brother. He ain't doing nothing. Trust me.
Oh,
no.
Bingy, can I just say, Bingy, you've got me crying, bruv.
Yes, Bingy. Crying. What? Bins? You lost your mind.
Oh my gosh.
Yo, you better call Jeeves, find out what Jeeves is doing. You get me? I'll pay someone to do that crap.
No.
All right, so let's quickly run through this player watch. I'm going to give, since you mentioned his name, I'm going to give it to you, Stoney. Gomez, tonight.
Oh my gosh. Listen, are we speaking about today's performance?
Yeah.
Okay, so you know what I think was actually quite interesting, as he said, in terms of player watch, and you've asked me just to mention about Gomez. I think I'm definitely going to give him a 8.5 for me with Gomez. I thought he was able to play similar to Trent in terms of him playing that inverted right back position and obviously play alongside Endo. I think he actually did that seamlessly today. I think the fact that he was able to give the assist, I'm really going to give him the props. And I think at the end of last week's show, I did actually provide Dr. Blake and Vinny with a link to a podcast that he featured on. So I've obviously seen him in a completely different light. I think we never want any players to actually have any form of injuries, especially if they actually play for Liverpool. So yeah, I'm going to give him an 8.5. I was really impressed with him offensively and defensively today. He's still a young player. We've got Fulham coming up again today in our next week, in our next game. And I think what he does provide us with the option is if we do have to actually rest Trent for any reason, then Gomez can actually step in and we can still actually believe in him as a first team player as well. So a solid 8.5 for Gomez. And that's quite surprising from me if you guys have heard my comments on previous shows.
Okay. All right. So, Dr. Blake, Elliot today.
Sorry, can you say that again? Apologies.
Oh, Elliot.
Harvey. Yeah, he was good, man. Busy, industrious, link play, worked hard. It almost feels like this level is where he's really shining right now as a starter. And it doesn't mean that he's not good enough for the Premier League or for the Champions League, but it does feel like when you see him like in the League Cup or in this competition, he literally looks like one of the best players on the pitch. Yeah, I just think he is developing nicely. This season, he seems a bit stronger. There seems to be like a bit more power in his game. And then we know that he's got wonderful game intelligence, vision, touch, awareness. And I just think, yeah, as he grows in confidence in himself and he gets more of a defined role in the team, I think we're going to see him kind of like continue to improve. So for me today, I think a solid 8. I think Harvey's one of these players, I think when he plays well, the team plays well because of just the way he moves around the ball and he keeps the ball moving. So yeah, I was really impressed with Harvey today.
Okay. All right. And then one more, which the both of you can comment on because obviously Preds didn't see it. One more. Endo.
Like I said, I watched a couple of the highlights. I've watched the highlights. He didn't really feature too much in it, so I couldn't really answer.
Bro, are your headphones working, bro?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hold on.
Bro, it's hard. I think it was nice.
You know what? This guy comes for me every week, you know. But why do you think I have a week? Why do you think I have to have a week off?
Brother, I said, Stoney and Dr. Blake, you can both comment on this because Preds didn't see the game. And then you answered the question,
when you break it down like that, yeah, you're right. Yeah, okay, I'll step aside.
Yo,
Making trouble.
Take them headphones back to the Sunday market, man. Western International, bro.
I think firstly it was really nice. I think firstly it was really nice to actually see, and I say this in a respectful way, I think it was really nice to actually see Endo actually get through a game without receiving a yellow card. I think firstly that has to be a positive for me. So yeah, he played the number 6 really nice. I think what was really nice as well, we were able to actually see him playing a position that allows Harvey Elliott to actually move from the right-hand side of midfield to actually play on the left-hand side of midfield. And I think seeing Harvey being able to play in the same position for Liverpool and England is a plus. So yeah, Endo had a really good game today. He played a steady game. I probably would have given him probably about an 8 today. And that's me probably pushing it. But as you said, look, it was the opposition we played against. It was the team that Klopp decided to field. So I was happy with him as well. So salute to you, Mr. Endo. You get 8 from me.
Okay. Right. So that there is reasons why I asked that about Hendo, because my thoughts are going forward. If we can get that ideal, that like Doctor says, you know what I mean, that kick up, that rugged brother there, who just gets to release Dominic and Matt 10 going forward, I think we'll be nasty. I think we'll be horrible. If we've got that somebody there, just sweep it up in front of that back four. That's all. You know what? Just get the ball and give it to them.
Basically,
get the ball, give it further up the pitch to Matt 10 and Dom. I think it's a wrap, to be honest. And I think it really will be peak times.
I still think Endo's still probably adjusting to the pace of the Premiership.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the things. And I said, you know, one of the first comments I was mentioning about the yellow cards. He is an experienced person. He's captain of Japan. He's a seasoned professional, obviously, and he's shown that playing for Germany, as you said, internationally. But we have to be mindful. And there's been other games, I think even the game that he played for us, not Man City, but prior to that, he can come on even when he comes in as a sub. My guy's getting a yellow card within the first 3 minutes. Yeah. That can be a concern. He likes to put his foot in, and I do actually like that. And similar to what Dr. Blake was saying, sometimes we need a midfielder to come in, and he's not afraid to kick a man down. Endo is that guy. He is that guy. He's good bald-headed Endo, or Endo now with, like, he bought the toupee from ePay for about £3. Either Endo that comes on, he's that guy, but he's still going to get a yellow card. So we have to be mindful of that. So
yeah, but don't you think the yellow cards are a tactical thing?
I don't know. I'm going to trust your judgment on that, Preds.
Yeah, because sometimes, like, you want he does come across like a disruptor, and sometimes if he comes on the game, he comes on, and you know he's got to catch up with the pace of the game. But then there's also times where, if they are on the break, sometimes you might just have to take a yellow card.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. No, but you know what? To be honest, his yellows haven't been really like that though. It's been like a bit of a late challenge. Has been most of his.
Yeah, I think that's just probably him trying. I think it's just him catching up with the pace.
Catching up with the pace of the game, for real.
Yeah.
If it wasn't, you know, a man's on a break, and I have nothing wrong with that. I'm the first one there screaming, "Take him out!" You get me?
Clap man, innit?
Take one for the
team.
Be
like Man City. Be like Man City.
Take one for the team, man. 100%. Tabriz says,
I think
can you hear me?
Let me laugh, man.
Mr. CW has just joined us, lads. He's had a hard shift, he said, at work. Got to him mentally, but he got through it. Pity, man. If you'd have watched the match, mate, you'd have felt a lot better, I tell you. Bingy, I don't know what you are thinking, bro. Honest to God, I don't know. But that grade you got there must be of the highest levels, brother.
But in saying that, no, Bingy's got a point.
He said that last week. He said that.
On his way out. We need to be looking forwards.
This what Bingy's mentioned was mentioned in either last show or previous shows.
But we are looking to the future. Matip is on his way out. Possibly might be his last season. So we look. You know what he can do? I'm not disputing he could do that job because you can see he can play ball. But right now we're talking about the future. So if we've already got one near 30-year-old in there, I don't think we need another one.
Matip's ain't got the footwork to go in there.
And one of the things that I think we mentioned about Matip possibly playing in that role, if it was, I think that was something that we, as supporters, as Liverpool historians, we would like to have seen that in possibly a pre-season friendly, to have seen him playing in that position. But for him to be able to make that transition during the season in there, I don't think it would be good in Liverpool, and I think it would be unfair on him. And I'm not questioning his footballing IQ. I'm just saying I believe we have midfielders that can play that position, so it would not allow Matip to actually move in there. That's just my opinion on that.
Okay, right. So Vinny, VW did bring up something earlier on in the show, and I did say I was going to talk about it, and then he reminded me not too long ago. He's just giving me a reminder, gentlemen. So the butchers at this now. don't forget about Mbappe.
Mbappe, we're coming to Liverpool.
Well, there is a lot of talk about it, gentlemen, and I was even on Talk Sport. They was talking about how a couple seasons back, Liverpool had tried to negotiate a deal with him while he was in the air. Actually, Klopp had gone out to go and see him somewhere, and then while he was in the air traveling back from a game, Mbappe, Klopp was trying to actually put a deal together for him to come to Liverpool. When he was at Monaco. When he was at Monaco.
Monaco, yeah.
When he was at Monaco,
yeah. So we were definitely linked with him quite heavily then.
And apparently, so what they're saying is apparently they do actually have a good relationship.
Yeah, so his mum's a Liverpool fan and his mum's his agent. So there is something there, and look, he's spoken quite positively about Klopp and Liverpool before as well. It's interesting, right? 6 months ago, I would have said, bruv, I'm not even commenting on Mbappe's Liverpool. I'm not watching Jordan Henderson in my midfield and you ask me about a world-class player of his generation coming to Liverpool and I'm watching Henderson in that midfield. Stop it. And I have vetoed all kind of Mbappe talk for the last how many months now. But the point I made earlier, I don't know what's happening at the club anymore. World record, kind of a British record transfer bids. This rumor isn't going away. So I don't know if there's even an element of truth in it. That there blatantly could be. Kind of, if Mo goes to Saudi Arabia, there's money in the bank. Is it as a way to get this? I just don't know. Where before, as I said, 6 months ago, I'd have been like, yeah, this is utter nonsense. But right now, I actually don't know. I think we might make him an offer. And it's whether or not then he would then accept that based on the finances. And who knows, kind of maybe the whole link to him going to Real Madrid has gone a bit sour. Who knows exactly? Who knows? But I think,
well, that seems to be the
fantasy anymore.
That's why the rumor's warming up, because apparently it seems like him going to Real Madrid may not materialize again, to be fair. So that's why the talk is warming up now. I think he's saying not as a mainstay, but just as a temporary basis, talking about Matip. And CW is saying, I said it for years, Mbappe's joining Real Madrid and nothing changing that. I'm wanting to date Laura Wood, but it ain't going to happen.
Listen, I think, so what?
Change your after show.
Yeah. Mbappe's what? He's 24. He's got the year extension on his contract, right? So even if we were to purchase Mbappe, whatever that fee would be astronomical. I think his salary would be astronomical. So whether that's something, and I'm not bearing in mind, I'm not saying Liverpool can't afford it. So I don't envisage us being able to have Mbappe and Salah in the club at the same time.
No.
Because of the salary, right? So we'll play devil's advocate, right? Say, for instance, Salah was to move on at the end of the season and then Mbappe is in the conversation. He comes, he's probably going to be there for about 3 or 4 years. When's Klopp contract up? Is it 2026 or 2026? I don't know. We'll have to see what the numbers. We probably got more chance of buying Ethan Mbappe, who's 16, than Kylian Mbappe, who's 24 at the moment. And that is the honest truth. I'm not a numbers man, but those numbers will be very, very, very high. So I think for now, we'll have to watch and look at how it materializes. Our club is big enough to attract Mbappe. And I go back to what you guys were saying. Real Madrid, they're probably looking at Haaland in probably 2 or 3 years' time. And they're probably looking at the same thing with Mbappe. But you're right. It's just knowing that there's that question mark about where does he go with that 1 year extension on his contract. We'll just have to watch his space, really. We'll have to watch his space.
I'm kind of I'm on the fence with this one, because as much as he's a great player, I think Chris Welch's CW was brought up one of my points. It might turn around if he does come. it's going to be all about him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's all the fanfare and everything that goes along with him.
Mhm.
Yes, I would love to see him in a Liverpool shirt. Realistically, can't see it.
No.
We can't. We simply. He is well out of. I don't know whether he's well out of our pay structure or whether our hemisphere, but I just think, yeah, I think he'll kind of spoil what's been built over the last few years in regards to his entourage coming, and it's everything about Mbappe, and you're going to hear everything about Real Madrid wants Mbappe, and who. Nah, look, don't need the fuss.
So
Yeah.
CW
I'm like
says we
Trez.
don't want egos in our dressing room.
Mm.
Vinny
He's gonna be
then
like
goes,
he's gonna be like a Neymar fanfare.
Yeah.
Vinny goes on to say he could go to Real Madrid and become a legend, but if he comes to LFC, he becomes a galactic legendary icon. Facts.
Vinny's pro this still. Vinny is pro this. Vinny is
Yeah.
pro this.
Mbappe is president of his own fan club.
Look,
Wow. Vinny. Essentially, Mbappe does more for Madrid than what they'll do for him in terms of legacy.
See,
yeah, I can see what
there we go.
Vinny's
We're
putting
there.
there.
It's all about Mbappe, isn't it? Again, look.
And if
I
he
hear
comes
what
to
Vinny's
us,
saying.
the exchange is mutual in terms of the benefits for us and him.
Vinny's pro this. Listen, Vinny was posting about Mbappe from 6:30 this morning. Yeah, trust me. It's like 6:30. No, actually, I'm lying. Like about 6:38. Like man posting about Mbappe. Look, he'll definitely be out of our pay structure, but I guess in theory next season he will be on a free, right? Because this will be his third year, right? So it is feasible, for example, that say we could give him Mo's wages if Mo moves on. We could give him a massive signing on fee, like something like 60, 70 million pounds to kind of cover some of his wages. Who knows exactly? But I do think stylistically he'd be a brilliant fit for us and would almost like, I guess, replace what Mo does in the team if Mo was to move on. And look, I can see the ego point, especially from the viewpoint that I can see Liverpool being more appealing than Real Madrid because, yeah, he wants a club to make him the project star. He wants it to be all about him, 100.
Yeah.
His ego is huge. And I think, yeah, at Real Madrid, he's more likely to have to share the limelight with Jude and Vinny Jr. Whereas at Liverpool, we don't necessarily have massive superstars alike with that. So, yeah, but I don't see it. But who knows, man? Like I said, I didn't see us bidding 110 million pounds for Moises Caicedo. So, like, I just think we're in an unknown space. And FSG, listen, these people are ginnals, isn't it? Just when you think that they're under pressure, they'll launch something like this and they know, boy, we sign Mbappe, we're under no pressure now for the next 10 years.
Do you reckon what's the sporting director? Is it George, the German guy, George Schmidt, whatever his name is?
Schmacker.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, you're right. The question mark's still out there. Can we really? Our club is big enough. I'm never ever questioning that. Can we attract Mbappe? He can come for the project because look, really, I don't know. You know what? I'm going to leave that. I think RT. That's for another show, and that will actually take up 1 hour and 30 minutes talking about Mbappe. I believe that would actually take that up. So I'm going to leave that right there.
We'll work on that. We'll work on that, man. Trust me, we'll definitely work on that one. Okay, gentlemen. I must say it has been a blast once again, man. Brilliant, excellent content, gentlemen. Excellent comments, man. I must say. Yeah, Preds, you hear me? I don't know, man. You hear me? Dodgy headphones. Watching the game. Look, he's not even paying us no attention. Watch you.
I'll take that. I'll take that. All feedback is good feedback. Yeah. I love you too.
Oh my God.
Fulham.
Fulham. Gentlemen, before we go, predictions for Fulham.
3-0 for me.
Oh, 3-0. Okay. Stony Preds.
Are we home or away?
We are playing at home. No, we're playing Fulham. No, yeah, we're at home.
I'm going to go for 4-0.
4.
Yeah.
Stoney, who never gets it right.
Yeah, 4-0 victory for Liverpool.
Oh shit.
Chris as well, but
No, CW said it as well. 4-0.
Yeah, 4-0. 4-0.
Yeah, but when CW says it, it's all right. But when Stoney says it,
And he says, what did he say? FSG trying to sign Mbappe is like trusting Gemma Collins to order my takeaway. But you don't see. Oh my!
But you know what?
Yeah,
FSG's coming under a little bit of pressure in stateside at the moment, aren't they? With the Red Sox. Yeah,
Bingy said 3-0. Okay.
Red Sox are saying that the Red Sox fans are saying that FSG are not putting in enough money to attract those big ball players. So check. So reading between the lines.
Okay.
Well, yeah,
and I guess just very quickly, if they are trying to maximize the value of the club for multitude of reasons, I guess Mbappe does do that. It's one of those it's like doing up like your loft to raise the value of the actual property. Like he does actually do that, man.
100%. 100%.
Gosh, I've now convinced myself that we're going to sign Mbappe. Bloody hell.
Yeah, I don't know.
Watch this space, people. Watch this space. Because if it does happen, I'll tell you what. We'll definitely be on there to tell you about it first and foremost.
No, let's just sign Kamara from Aston Villa. Yeah, let's just sign a water carrier. Fine. We don't need champagne and crystal and all that. We need a water carrier. Like,
stop trying to convince yourself. You convince yourself about signing Mbappe. Now you're trying to convince yourself out. I'm not buying it. You're getting sucked in.
Yeah, I am. Ridiculous.
Peoples, we're gonna say good night. God bless. Do remember, keep that like, that share, subscribe, and we will see you next week, everybody. Thank you very much, gentlemen. It's been a blast.